Right now, this second, your money is losing value. Not because you spent it, not because you invested it poorly, because of a force so invisible, so omnipresent, that most people don't even see it happening. Inflation is the silent wealth thief, and it's stealing from you daily. You go to the grocery store, milk costs more, bread costs more, gas costs more. You get a 3% raise, you think you're winning. You're not. You're losing 4% in purchasing power every year while pretending you're getting ahead. This is the cruelest economic mechanism because it's legal theft. Nobody goes to jail, nobody apologizes, the system just extracts. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how inflation works, why it's worse than a recession, and why it's destroying your wealth in ways you don't even realize. By the end, you'll understand why wealthy people love inflation while you suffer it. Let's expose the inflation monster. Here's how inflation steals from you invisibly. You save $100,000. You feel secure. You earned this money. You disciplined yourself. It's yours. The bank pays you 0.05% interest. That's $50 per year. But inflation is running at 4%. That's $4,000 in purchasing power lost from your $100,000 savings annually. So you think you're earning $50. In reality, you're losing $3,950 every year. The difference, $3,950, is transferred to the government, to debtors, to corporations, from you. This is the inflation tax, and you can't see it being deducted from your account. If you're retired, if you have a pension, if you own bonds expecting stable income, inflation is your nightmare. A 30-year mortgage at 3%? You love inflation. Your debt shrinks in real terms. The bank loses. A pension that pays $1,500 per month? Inflation destroys you. In 5 years, that $1,500 buys what $750 used to buy. You're effectively getting a 50% pay cut while the government inflates away the nominal value of its promises. The system is designed to punish savers and reward debtors. Inflation is how this transfer happens. Government debt becomes lighter. Your savings become lighter. The game is rigged at the mechanical level. You get a 3% raise. You think you're winning. You're not. If inflation is 4%, you got a 1% pay cut in real terms. You're earning less, not more. But here's the psychological trick. The number in your bank account goes up. Your paycheck gets bigger. You feel ahead even though you're falling behind. Meanwhile, landlords, corporations, and governments know about inflation. They raise rent by 5%. They raise prices by 5%. They raise bond yields by 5%. You're stuck with a 3% raise. They're extracting 5%. The gap compounds. Year after year, your purchasing power slides backward while feeling stagnant. Here's where inflation gets truly cruel. Wealthy people own assets. They own real estate, stocks, bonds. When inflation hits, asset prices rise to compensate. Their net worth increases. You own nothing. You rent. As inflation rises, rent rises. As inflation rises, house prices rise. You get priced out further. This is how inflation transfers wealth from poor to rich. It's not an accident. It's the mechanical consequence of inflation. Inflation is sold to you as necessary for growth, but it's actually a wealth transfer mechanism from savers to borrowers, from renters to owners, from workers to corporations. Banks say, we're paying you 2% on savings. Inflation is 4%. Your real interest rate is negative 2%. You're losing purchasing power, but the bank credits you positive numbers. Psychological victory, mathematical defeat. Meanwhile, the government borrows at the same negative real rate. They spend borrowed money today, inflation erodes the debt tomorrow, they pay back with cheaper dollars. This is how governments use inflation as a hidden tax. They're not paying their debts, they're stealing them away with inflation. And you, the saver, are funding this theft. Inflation isn't coming in 2026. It's here. It's already rising. Consensus says inflation will drop, but the underlying dynamics suggest inflation will stay elevated. Tariffs, fiscal stimulus, energy shocks, supply chain stress. 4% inflation isn't high by historical standards, but 4% per year, compounded over a decade, destroys 56% of your purchasing power. You feel poor not because you're earning less. You feel poor because your purchasing power is actually declining in real terms while nominal metrics tell you everything is fine. Understanding inflation is the first step to fighting it. You can't stop inflation, but you can stop being a victim of it. Real assets, diversified income, international assets, productivity gains, these protect you. The wealth that gets transferred away from you can be your wealth if you understand the mechanism and position accordingly. Subscribe to Unmasked for more uncomfortable truths about how systems extract from you and how to protect yourself.